This is news now. Authorities are on heightened alert after at least 9 individuals died following 2 consecutive roadside explosions in Jolo, Sulu this afternoon. Ryan Ang has the details.
Before 12 noon today, an explosion rocked the vicinity of Paradise Food Plaza along Cervantes Street, Barangay Walled City, Jolo, Sulu. Initial reports say the explosion came from a motorcycle rigged with IED that was parked near a military truck. At least 5 soldiers and 4 civilian bystanders were killed. An hour later, while investigators are inspecting the crime scene, another explosion followed on the opposite road, just 100 meters from the first blast site. Before 12 noon today, an explosion rocked the vicinity of Paradise on the residents to stay vigilant. Meanwhile, the military said that they are on high alert following the twin blast and that they are still determining the details of the explosion. For its part, Philippine National Police Chief General R. Gamboa has already directed the Police Regional Office in the Bangsamoro region to secure the area, expedite its probe, and make all perpetrators accountable. The Philippine Coast Guard has declared a red alert in the entire region of southwestern Mindanao, including Zamboanga, Basilan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi, while investigation is ongoing. Jolo Bishop Charlie Inson has asked for prayers for the bombing victims. For News 5, Ryan Ang, We Are One News.
Calls for a revolutionary government will not be getting any support from the incumbent administration. That's according to PALAC's spokesman Roque, after a group of President Duterte's supporters urged the chief executive to run a revolutionary government for the remainder of his term. Maricel Halili reports.
Malacanang insists that a revolutionary government under President Duterte is out of the picture, especially as the country continues to grapple with COVID-19 crisis. This following the appeal of the Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte National Executive Coordinating Committee, a group of the chief executive supporters, to declare a revolutionary government. In an assembly on Saturday, the group called for a revolutionary government for a period not exceeding June 30, 2022 or until the end of President Duterte's term. They want the chief executive to lead a revolution and usher in a new constitution. But PALA spokesperson Roque was quick to turn it down, stressing that it is not the priority of the administration, especially in the middle of the pandemic.
It does not enjoy any support from government right now. It is a private initiative, but the private individuals can express freely their views as part of freedom of speech.
Some government officials find the appeal ridiculous at the time of a global health crisis. Senate President Tito Soto has likened a revolutionary government to a rudderless ship of state, launched without a compass nor an agreed destination. Senator Riza Ontiveros, meanwhile, said the move should not be taken seriously, describing it as another distraction from the real crisis. Senator Sherwin Gatchalian has branded the proposal as ill-timed and unnecessary. He added that such form of government will likely erode the system of checks and balances.
Babalik ako doon sa pangalan ng grupo, Mayor Rodrigo Duterte National Executive Council. No? Ang initial reaction ko ay itong grupo na ito ay gustong mapalapit sa ating Pangulo at gustong sumipsip sa ating Pangulo.
Asked if the calls to declare a revolutionary government amounts to inciting to sedition or a terror act, Justice Secretary Minardo Guevara withheld his comment. He says the issue is more political than legal. For now, Malacanang has no plans of filing charges against the group.
Consistent po ang ating hukuman pagdating sa mga desisyon nila at ukol po sa karapatan ng malayang pamamahayag. Kinakailangan meron pong clear and present danger para masupil po yung ganyang pananalita.
The Philippine National Police also urges the public not to be distracted amid the fight against pandemic, noting that it will never support any move to establish a revolutionary government. For News 5, Maricel Halili, We Are One News.
President Rodrigo Duterte will address the nation tonight from Davao City. PALA spokesperson Roque said the chief executive will give updates on the country's COVID-19 response. In his Laging Handa briefing today, Roque also apologized to Duterte for saying his boss was under perpetual isolation. He explained that it was the wrong choice of words when he asked about the president's health condition last week.
Pero what I meant only was that the Presidential Security Group has been doing a good job at ensuring that there is social distancing between anyone who wants to talk to the President. No? Pasensya po.
We are pausing for a quick break. One News Now will be right back. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The House of Representatives has ratified the Bayanihan to Recover as One bill, but not without scoring on their Senate counterparts anew. The measure, which seeks to allot 65.5 billion pesos to further cushion the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, was approved by a viva voce or voice voting. Earlier during the House session, lawmakers stood to refute the allegations of some senators that the provisions they're pushing under the bill were for personal gain. House Deputy Speaker El Rey Villafuerte challenges senators to release the video and transcript of their bicameral meetings. Concrete barriers out, metal bollards in. The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, or MMDA, is intensifying efforts to reduce vehicular accidents along the EDSA busway. To give us more details, we have Gerard de la Peña reporting live from Mandaluyong. Gerard, what's the latest?
Charles, the MMDA has started replacing concrete barriers with metal bollards here along EDSA. That is in its bid to bring down the number of accidents at the major thoroughfare.
This SUV was severely damaged after hitting the concrete barriers that serve as a divider between the EDSA busway and the private vehicle lane at the Shaw Boulevard Tunnel around 4 a.m. Luckily, no one was hurt. At around 1 p.m., another SUV hit one of the concrete barriers, which caused a major traffic jam. The MMDA says around 100 concrete barriers have been destroyed due to vehicular accidents. With this, the MMDA is replacing concrete barriers with metal bollards at the northbound lane in the Shaw Boulevard Tunnel. EDSA Traffic Manager Bong Nebria says a private firm donated 6,000 bollards, which will be installed in choke points such as tunnels and flyovers.
So we try to maximize the space for the buses and for the private vehicles. So mas maganda kung minimal lang yung median lane nila.
The use of bollards is also meant to reduce accidents at the main thoroughfare.
Pag nabunggo, pag na-dislocate, napupunta sa private lanes, may mga tinatamaan na private vehicles. The bollards are bolted on the ground. So ito, pag binangga mo, hindi basta tumitilapon to.
The MMDA said the concrete barriers will be placed at bus stops as well as other portions of EDSA. Bollards have also been used to separate the bike lane along East Avenue in Quezon City. This is part of what the Transportation Department refers to as the hospital loop, which aims to keep biking healthcare workers safe when going to and from hospitals. But the DPWH notes this is not yet the final look of bike lanes yet.
DOTR and DPWH are actually coming up with a standard bike lane guidelines, and hopefully this will be done before the end of the month. No? So the designs that will be included therein would be in accordance with the international standards.
Meanwhile, more than 1,300 traditional jeepneys in Metro Manila have been given the green light to operate again. The LTFRB says starting Wednesday, the additional jeepney units may traverse 23 more routes across NCR. Operators are required to obtain QR codes from the LTFRB.
Charles, only around 13,000 out of the total number of 74,000 traditional jeepneys will be allowed to ply the roads starting on Wednesday. Despite this, Transport Group Piston wants the government to allow all jeepney drivers to resume operation soon. Charles.
Thanks, Gerard. That was Gerard de la Peña reporting live from Mandaluyong. COVID-19 cases in the country have surged to over 194,000. This as the Health Department reports more than 4,600 new COVID-19 cases today. Of that number, 59,200 are active. COVID-19 deaths have meanwhile breached the 3,000 mark, with 13 new fatalities recorded in the past 24 hours. Over 720 new recoveries were reported today, pushing the total tally to 132,000. Meanwhile, the Education Department reports that over 820 students, teachers, and non-teaching personnel have contracted COVID-19. Of that number, almost 300 are students, 340 are teachers, and over 180 are non-teaching personnel. DepEd adds that of the total confirmed cases, 310 remain active, while 490 have recovered and 23 have died from the virus. And in response to the appeal of customers, power distribution company Meralco extends anew its moratorium on disconnection. Up to when? Shaila Francisco will tell us in the story.
Jet has been given until December to pay his electricity bills during the ECQ period. But after paying the past 2 months, he isn't sure whether he will be able to pay the rest.
Sana extend pa nila. Pagbigyan pa kami ng mga ilang buwan para makahanap pa kami ng trabaho na makaipon pa rin ng pangbayad.
In response to the appeal of Jet and other customers, Meralco has decided to defer the disconnection of power lines for 1 more month. They now have until the end of October to settle their electricity bills.
So yung mga bills nila nung mga buwan na yon at tinamaan ng ECQ at MECQ, yung po ay meron ng palugit na binigay ng ERC. Ito pong binigay naming palugit ay on top of dun sa binigay ng ERC.
In addition, those consuming 100 kilowatt hours or below will receive discounts in the distribution charge. The company also continues to address the complaints of customers regarding the sudden spike in billing. To date, nearly 3 billion pesos have been alleviated from customers in bills.
Punon sabihin ay kami na po ang nagbabayad sa generation companies at sa NGCP kahit na hindi pa nagbabayad ang ating mga customers. So malaki pong halaga ang ginagamit ng Meralco para lang maipatupad itong mga pagbibigay natin sa mga customers natin.
That's why the House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability has asked other customers to already settle their bills if they can.
Para sa talagang tunay na walang pambayad, ay bigyan ng grace period. Pero kahit po bigyan tayo ng grace period, personal po kaming nakikiusap at lumalapit sa inyo, kahit po bigyan tayo ng grace period na 2 taon o 3 taon, kung kaya nating magbayad tayo. Balik na naman tayo sa Stone Age, ni wala kayong magagamit na Facebook pagka kukonti yung battery ninyo. Ano po? At wala rin tayong magiging trabaho kasi sino naman mag-i-invest sa bansang Pilipinas kung wala tayong kuryente?
As of August 14, Meralco has responded to 619,000 backlog concerns, over 200,000 of which were related to high billing. Customers can still go to the Energy Regulatory Commission if they still have any complaints. But Meralco has assured the public that those who have pending dispute lodged before the agency will be exempted from disconnection notices starting November. Shaila Francisco, we are One News.
Former U.S. Marine Joseph Pemberton, who was found guilty of killing Filipino transgender woman Jennifer Laude in 2014, has withdrawn his appeal before the Supreme Court. That means Pemberton is accepting the 2015 trial court's decision, sentencing him to 10 years in prison over homicide. The SC notice issued today shows that he filed a motion for leave to withdraw his petition last June 2. This case is now deemed closed. For more updates, follow News 5, the Philippine Star and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. And you can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. We are One News.